Hey guys, this is Zakir Grenade. I just figured I'd make an official video warning you about one of the eBay sellers. Now, as many of you probably already know, I was royally screwed out of a Dendrobium stamen figure, MSIA. And I still left negative feedback for the guy, even though he refunded my money. And the main reasoning for that was because I left it according to how I felt about the sell. And I had to open up an official case file with eBay to even get my money back and to get him to respond to me. And almost a month later, I'm still receiving messages from this guy. I don't know if he's trying to bully me or send me on a guilt trip to try to get his own way. I don't know. I'm going to read the messages to you, and I'll tell you what my feelings are. Then I will show them to you so you know I'm not making things up, and you can form your own opinions. I'm just making this video to warn you about this guy and any other seller who acts similar to him. The first message is as follows. This is so unfair, you could clearly see I had not opened the box, and I gave you a refund immediately. I would request you change your feedback to at least a neutral. This is the only way that I have of making any kind of money. I am disabled and list items for this seller, and if the feedback gets damaged, I cannot sell, and it would be a very bad thing for me. I did not mess with you at all. I took care of the problem in a fast way. I made a mistake. Why should I carry a scar on the rest of my life? There is no reason. Thanks, Delbert. I guess the guy's name is Delbert. Well, Delbert, first off, you're not supposed to be listing items for other sellers on eBay. When you create a seller's account, it's for you to list your items to sell. I mean, now drop shipping obviously is a different story. But either way, let's say you are listing for someone. Wouldn't common sense say, hey, maybe I should check the item, make sure that I'm not listing a false item? I mean, to me, it would be common sense that you would at least check out the item. And this guy really, if the guy he listed it for, he needs to really be asking him, where is the item? In fact, I'm not even sure why he's not asking that right now, instead of him looking like a criminal. What it seems to me, it seems almost as if he listed the item knowing full well what it was. He just seems like one of those type of people who cannot accept the blame, cannot accept that he was at fault. In fact, he's going to make things up to make it seem like he's the innocent person getting screwed over, whereas I was the customer, I got screwed. The disability thing, I'm not even sure what he means by that. Maybe it's a guilt trip, I don't know. I'm a disabled veteran, I'm able to function, I guess decently you would say. And so I'm not sure what he's getting at with that. Maybe he's hoping I feel sorry for him and change my feedback. I don't know. And carrying the scar for the rest of his life for this feedback, I think that's a little bit melodramatic. I think he's being a bit of a drama queen here. He's got all positive feedback except for my negative. That's one negative out of 900 feedbacks. I doubt that's going to scar him for life. And if something like that affects him, this guy's a wimp. That's, I mean, whatever you guys think about that one, I don't know. Well, he then sent me a message says, a seller requests that you revise the original feedback you left. Reason for request, the seller was able to resolve a problem you had with this transaction. Yes, he did resolve it. But the fact of the matter is, it wasn't about money. If I was so worried about money, I would not have spent it in the first place. It was about the Dendrobium. That's what I wanted. I got screwed. I was unhappy, so I left feedback accordingly. And I even explained to this guy, I'm not changing my feedback. I told him I would not be bullied into changing it. And I told him the whole purpose of feedback is to label how satisfied you are with the sell. I told him I'm clearly dissatisfied, and I left feedback accordingly. And that's how businesses work. Sometimes you have dissatisfied customers. Well, the message goes on to say, this is my lifeline to making ends meet. Please don't leave this unchanged. And again, sorry about the way I'm reading it. The guy doesn't know how to end sentences. They're all run-on sentences, so I have to put breaks in where they should be. I made an honest mistake, apologized, and refund. Please be fair, Delbert. You can see from my feedback I am a fair seller. Well, if you're acting this way and sending me messages almost a month later trying to persuade me, How do I know you didn't do that to all the other buyers and maybe they gave in? Because a lot of people that I know are afraid of confrontation. I am not. I'm not the type of person to be persuaded into something I don't want to do. So the feedback's not getting changed. It's staying negative. He then sent me a message, which this message kind of aggravates me. So being easy to get along with, giving an immediate refund is not a good thing, and I am dealing with a God who has never made a mistake. Thank you. That seems a little bit pompous to me, and I never claim that I don't make mistakes. In fact, I've made more mistakes than a lot of people, but you learn from them. And maybe if he was an adult or at least mature, had a level of maturity, he'd be able to look at this negative and look at it in a sense of, how can I better my business? How can I keep this from happening again? What do I need to change? Instead of being a little crybaby here and whining about this and comparing me to a God that has never made a mistake, I really don't understand where that's coming from. And he did not give me an immediate refund, but even, like I said, even on the feedback, I actually put in the feedback. Item not as described. Seller did refund. So I did let people know that he refunded. But I'm not leaving a positive for refunding money. You don't leave a positive to someone for, hey, he sent me the wrong item, but he didn't really fix it. He refunded my money. That's not a positive feedback. That, to me, qualifies as a negative, and I think I was justified in that. And then he sends me this last message. Look at my feedback. I have 900, and you want to be the black mark. Well, Delbert, I do want to be the black mark because I didn't get the item that I purchased. There was 2 sales for the dendrobium on there. I passed up the other one for this one. And I didn't get what I paid for. And again, yes, you refunded my money, but that's not what I'm mad about. I'm mad about not getting the item. And I've gotten over it. I mean, it's over a month ago. You let things go. But I've let it go, and then this guy starts sending me these messages as if I'm going to be scared of him and change my feedback, which I'm not really sure where he's going with this. Now, here's 2 of the messages that I sent him. The most recent one is, feedback is used to rate a customer's satisfaction. I was clearly dissatisfied. The item was not what was listed, so I left feedback accordingly. I wrote on there that you did refund. According to eBay, you're not supposed to list items for other sellers. If I can make a recommendation, check on what you are listing if it is for someone else. I don't mean to come off as harsh, but what does being disabled have to do with this? And the other one is, well, either way, I am not the type of person to be pressured into doing anything, including changing feedback. It is the risk of doing business. Every business gets a dissatisfied customer at some point. So I'm trying to be, I guess, courteous in a way. I'm trying not to say what I truly feel about this guy. And he's actually starting to aggravate me, and I'm just letting you guys know, beware of sellers like this. No, I'm not trying to say beware of eBay, because eBay's a great thing. I use it all the time. I've had almost all good experiences. In fact, this is the one bad experience I've had is with this guy. And I don't think he reflects all of eBay. But if you start seeing a seller that's acting a little bit shady, and when you ask questions about the auction and they're extremely vague about it, I would try to steer clear of that, because that shows that they are willingly going to send you the wrong item and then try to play something like this. Now, I am going to show you the emails again so that you know that I'm not making things up. Okay, if you can see that, this is the message where it says, look at my feedback, I have 900 and you want to be the black mark. This is the next one. Okay. This is the request to change the feedback, and this is what he wrote to me. And here is the long paragraph. I'm running out of time, so if you want to read it, you may have to pause it. And this is Zocker Grenade. Thanks for viewing, guys.